Hello everybody and welcome to Beyond the Game. The Battle Royale genre has grown into a huge phenomenon that no one ever expected. With the likes of PUBG and Fortnite, Battle Royale games have been popping up like crazy. Some are great, but unfortunately most are horrible and are only created to make a quick buck with either an overpriced product or tons of microtransactions. And now out of nowhere Respawn has released Apex Legends. A game that in short time it has been released has become a very popular game. But can it actually stand up against the likes of Fortnite? Well, let's have a look. As always, let's first see how well the game looks and runs. Battle Royale games always have a large map to run around in, and Apex Legends is of course the same in every way. Even though currently there is only one map to choose from, it still manages to feel fresh every time you play a new round. The map itself is very colorful and full of buildings to explore. The graphics don't look super realistic and occasionally even have a bit of a cartoonish feel to them. However, not as cartoonish as let's say a Borderlands. The map itself consists out of a few different kind of areas, for instance like a slum area and a desert area. This makes for nice scenic changes as you occasionally have to travel for a decent amount of time. In Apex Legends you have a total of 8 characters to choose from, however 2 of them have to be unlocked. All characters have a totally different looks and are designed pretty decent. It doesn't have the same quality of let's say an Overwatch, but the characters are pretty likable. The biggest attraction is in its weapon design. There are plenty of weapons to choose from your standard pistols to shotguns, assault rifles and even sniper rifles. And like the outfits for your character, all of these weapons can be personalized as well with different weapon skins that you will unlock. The size of the map itself is enormous, and once you launch yourself into battle alone or with 2 others, the frame rate stays stable across all platforms. The target here is a nice 60 frames per second. Most of the time it will hit this number for a very smooth gameplay experience. The only odd thing that I did notice is on the base consoles, when you jump from the aircraft the game runs at a 30 frames per second. However, once you touch the ground it immediately goes to 60 frames per second. Apex Legends also sounds really good. If you wear a headset or play on surround sound, this game is a blast. From the footsteps you can hear around you to the awesome gunshots.
There ain't much fun for me. Some benefits.
All the guns have their own unique sounds to them and they feel like they have a strong impact. You can also hear where the shots are coming from even if they are further away. This helps to pinpoint where you have to go or places that you rather avoid. Every character also has some lines of dialogue to give them a little bit of personality. You can hear them say if they see an enemy, get shot at, or if they found some nice loot. It isn't anything too special, but it's a fun afterthought. And for the music, even though pretty decent, it's not really around. While in the action you hear no music besides the point when you launch yourself out of the aircraft, and it's only used for menus and loading screens. Some might think this is okay and some will miss some sort of music while playing. So overall the sound effects and music are really great, and Respawn Entertainment really delivered here to make the sound have impact on the gameplay. And then talking about the gameplay, what makes this different from any other Battle Royale game? Well, the basic concept is exactly the same, but with a few twists. This time however you won't be dropped into the battle zone alone against 99 other players. Instead you will be dropped as a squad that consists out of yourself and 2 other players. You will fight against 19 other teams to have a total of 60 players. Before you drop into the battle, one team member is a so-called drop master, and he or she will decide where your team will be dropped. Other players can of course give suggestions, or if you hate team play you can jump out on your own. However, team play is a very important mechanic here. Besides knowing that someone might have your back in a firefight, they can also revive you so that you will be ready to join the action again, although with only a little bit of health. You see, if you do get shot down you aren't immediately dead. Your team has several seconds to actually revive you. If you do get shot while you're down or an enemy player does a finishing move on you, it might still not be game over. But here's a trick to it. A team player has to pick up your tag that you drop once you're dead. If they are quick enough, they could run to a respawn bot. It's mostly an open space with no cover and the respawn initiative will take a few seconds. But if he or she managed to get you there, you will be respawned again. However, if you do get respawned, you won't have any weapons or armor anymore, which means that you have to search for new gear again. This mechanic makes people who have died still engage into the game, as there's always a chance that you get respawned and maybe even still win the game. There is also a very handy mechanic called ping. When you have your crosshair over an item, location or enemy, you can press the shoulder button to give the information to your team. This comes in handy if you play with people that do not have a headset and still provide them with information. All characters have a role to play in the team and no one of your team can have the same character. Every character also has its own special abilities. For instance, one can heal while the other has an ability to scan the area to see nearby enemies or create a shield barrier. This diversity makes for a very tactical play and it's very rewarding when your team uses their skills together to survive. The shooting and movement in Apex Legends feels pretty spot on and Respawn Entertainment used their knowledge from Titanfall and applied it here. Never do the controls feel awkward or floaty. The standard sensitivity is the right mix for everyone, although you can always change it in the options menu. Of course, in every battle royale the battlefield will get smaller and smaller to ensure no one keeps hiding, so eventually you will have to move up into a crowded area where several players are shooting at each other. A round can be over as soon as a few seconds if you get dropped in the area where a few other teams are also dropping. Searching for a weapon in those first few seconds is really thrilling, as you never know if the enemy already has a weapon or not. If you win a round, you are mostly looking around 20 minutes depending on how other players behave. It's a decent amount and before you know it you will be ready for the next one. Apex Legends is a great take on the Battle Royale genre. It looks great and it's free of charge. But of course every free game comes with microtransactions to generate some sort of income. And let me be honest here, this is a game that is not pay to win and that's always a plus point in my book. The microtransactions are mostly for weapon skins or character skins and for a game that is free I can understand this model. However, I do have one small issue with a certain point of these microtransactions and that is that 2 playable characters are locked behind either a grind of 15 hours or you can pay for them. And we are talking nearly 10 euros each. But again, of course that's just me being picky. The game overall is great. From gameplay mechanics, the graphics, even though not top of the line due to the battle royale nature, are still better than most shooters out there. And the sound effects are superb when using a headset. The content however feels a bit bare bones as we only have one map, but I'm sure more will follow in the future. I only wonder if Apex Legends will maintain the player count over the next few months. So far though, they do a great job and they are promising new game modes in the near future. And let's be honest, nothing can beat a free game, right? For now, Apex Legends is the Battle Royale game to go for, and I give it an excellent 9 out of 10. Have you played Apex Legends and what do you think of it so far? And do you think the Battle Royale genre is at its end or can it still be improved? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please hit that like button and for more videos check out the channel or maybe even subscribe. As always, thank you so much for watching and hopefully see you next time.